Hello. So, doing a little unboxing video of my own package because post office for my customer did not hold the package for pickup as was intended. So I figured, hey, let's do this because I feel like not a ton of people get to unbox their own boxes. Not that this is a positive thing, but what the heck, might as well make a video about it and just kind of see. I'm pretty sure the things are still going to be alive. My packing method is simplistic but effective, and it has worked well for me for years. Trying to cut this while videotaping is a little bit of a pain. So, but yeah, figured I'd just try this out. And so the species are Compsodius schwartzi, Balta americana, and Euthlastoblatta diaphana. Now, the Euthlastoblatta might be dead. Those are a bit more fragile. And Baltavillis. That's another species that's in here. Yeah, the Euthlastoblatta are the ones I'm expecting to maybe be dead. They're a more fragile species overall. But yeah, so here's newspaper. 72-hour heat pack that died out several days ago. This was sent last week, so it's been a little over a week took to get back to me. So let's see. All right, this is okay. So the Balta americana seem to probably all be alive. Only ordered 10. There's more than 10 there, so yeah, those are fine. Let's see. Yeah, I use newspaper, a lot of newspaper, like packed pretty tightly, but just newspaper insulation, 72-hour heat pack. Priority mail, USPS. It's my way to go. Okay, there's the Balta. These were another one I was slightly concerned about, but so the paper towel is pretty dry after week in transit. There's one dead adult, but it looks two dead adults, which I mean honestly isn't that surprising. For it being as dry as it is. However, these are fairly dry tolerant as far as pseudophilodromids go. So yeah, it looks again like more than what was bought is alive in here. So yeah, and yeah, just a couple dead ones which may not have died necessarily because it dried out. They might have just died because of shipping stress, which is part of why I always send freebies anyways. So they're adults too, so like they may have been old. There's no guarantee, but again, that's why I send freebies. Okay, Euthlastoblatta diaphana. Yeah, surprisingly, I'm pretty sure. Wow, I don't see any dead ones. Wow, the Balta had more deaths than the. Yeah, there's no dead Euthlastoblatta. They're all alive. Okay. Wait, is that? No, I think that's just. Okay, there's one dead Euthlastoblatta diaphana. And it's an adult, of course, so. Yeah, not that surprising. Honestly, what's more surprising is that literally like all but one are alive. And again, I sent more than the spot, so. Okay. This is pretty good so far. If I was receiving this package, I'd be very happy with the results. Like, if I was a customer, I'd be like, wow. Over a week in transit, in freezing weather, both ways, he packed dead for about a week, but now. And only a couple died that honestly they could have possibly even been dead arriving on time. Like if they're adults that just happened to be old, that I didn't notice were older when I shipped them. And then yeah, the 20 Compsodies is I'm sure there's all alive in there. Again, they're not that dry sensitive. yeah, no, yeah, there's, I don't see any dead ones, just a lot of live ones. Oops, oh, don't do that. Sweet, well, that went pretty well, gotta say. Yeah, look at that little baby. Alright, so, okay, he's in there now. So, they're getting out now. But yeah, so, alright. So, my method worked pretty well. So, you can see it's just a lot of newspaper at the bottom too, so just really well insulated. You can use cellulose powder, other insulations, styrofoam. I don't know. I've never had to use more complex materials most times because it's just with the proper insulation, the proper you know you use a 72-hour heat pack. Things, roaches, most isopods I've shipped, pretty much all beetles I've ever shipped. This is more than enough. Make sure the deli cups are well ventilated, all times of year, especially during the summer. If it's hot and the inside of the deli cup is humid and you have little to no ventilation, they're going to get steam cooked no matter what you put in there, no matter how good your shipping is. If you use overnight express and styrofoam insulation and all that, sure, most of them will probably make it okay anyways, but it's never a bad idea to, do as much ventilation as possible, especially during the summer, without drying them out too much because, you do not want to steam cook your stuff during the summer, which is what'll happen if it gets really hot in the box, which can still happen, especially nowadays when summers in a lot of places are 100 plus degrees now in the US. And even with really good insulation, it might still get kind of hot in there. So, and with no ventilation, even like temps in the 80s can potentially be fatal if there's no ventilation in the deli cups and too much humidity. Yeah, you're literally steam cooking them. During the winter, ventilation is a little less necessary, but still a good idea to keep them well ventilated, especially if the containers are near the heat pack. It's pretty important because, again, same thing. Those heat packs can get pretty hot, especially during their peak performance. So, yeah, it's never a bad idea. Keep things fairly well ventilated. A lot of pinholes on the sides, pinholes on the lid, sometimes even pinholes at the bottom. And crumpled up paper towel, really good shipping medium. Don't want to pack it too tightly. You don't want to, they need to be able to move. Whatever invertebrate you ship, it needs to be able to move around in shipping. But then also, you want to be able to shake it and not have the paper towel flop around in there, because then that can smash individuals too. But if you cram them too tightly, like I've seen a lot of isopod people, especially, that have sent to me. They send me the isopods and they're like packed to the brim with sphagnum moss. They can't even move around, and a lot of them will be just dead against the sides because they don't have room to move around. Whereas when I ship isopods, I've had people I've shipped like Spanish Porcello before, and one person was like, I've tried buying this certain species, I think it was Porcello bolivari, like 2 or 3 times from other isopod vendors. I won't name names, but they were some big ones in the hobby at the time. And like every time they've shipped them to me, even like express overnight, they're all dead. And I sent him it was as I was leaving the hobby, I sent him like my entire colony, not overnight, just priority with my standard shipping method, paper towel, well ventilated, everything. And he's like, there wasn't a single DOA. In fact, I think some of yours gave birth during shipping. So, it's pretty important not to cram things too tightly, keep things too humid, and not give enough ventilation. Those 3 things are very important when making your deli cups. And then the insulation is just, whatever. You can use styrofoam if you want, there's no harm in it. But I've not personally needed to for everything I've shipped. And, this is just my method. And so far it's been pretty successful. As you can see, these things have been in transit for over a week now. I think about 10 or 11 days. And almost everything is alive, and the few things that did die were adults. And you know, when I reship these out, I will probably refrain from sending adults. Granted, the adults may have survived just fine if they arrived on time. They probably would have, but so. But yeah, I'll try to send more nymph heavy groups to just to make sure. But yeah, so this is how I ship, and this is the result, and this is unboxing invertebrate dude package from invertebrate dude. So, all right, guys, take care. See you.